So now let us start with the opening recitations. Om, the sentient beings limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. So take a few moments and let body and mind settle, letting them settle naturally into their own places. Invite some ease into your body and into your mind. Learn how to welcome ease and comfort for both body and mind. Especially the Buddha taught in the method of the 16 stages of breath, the importance of first skillfully bringing ease and comfort, first the body, then the mind. Reminding and therefore training ourselves that it is possible for us to make that decision and to learn how to experience this natural ease and comfort. This natural ease and comfort with body and mind that is already there, but because of all the distractions that we have, all the excitement that we chase, all the unpleasant feelings that we run away from, that ironically in the midst of chasing, trying to find happiness and running, trying to escape suffering, we end up creating more suffering. We end up not obtaining happiness. The happiness that can be found right here, simply when we attend to both body and mind skillfully. Observing body as it is, rather than as through the layers and layers of projections. Approaching mind just as it is, rather than the layers and layers of projection. Layers and layers of fixation solidifying. Buddha taught that if we know how to skillfully lay aside, relinquish, put aside all these layers and layers of projection, then we can find this natural comfort and ease that is available to both body and mind. And this he taught to be possible, especially through skillfully developing mindfulness or developing the ability to recollect breath, as in the experience of breathing in and the experience of breathing out. Breath itself is an involuntary process which all bodies engage in and all bodies need, that all bodies involuntarily, naturally, breath takes place, breath goes on. It is the bridge between body and mind. And so through observing breath, through coming back to paying attention to the experience of breath, many, many different benefits can arise. Both benefits that are limited to this body, which is important now that most of us are so completely tied up with the body, identify with the body. So we need to learn how to skillfully work with this body that we have identified as I, me, and mine. So it's good to know how to observe body. And it's good to know how to observe mind. At the beginning, it can be as simple as saying, almost pretending that you are a babysitter, and body and mind are two children that you have been given the task to babysit. And so to be a good babysitter, you want to be attentive, but you also want to give them space to play, to explore, to learn. Simply observe these two. Simply observe body and mind, and particularly breath, entering, leaving, rising, ceasing, coming, going. And as you're doing that, somewhere in the back of your mind, you say, let me invite comfort and ease to arise for both body and mind. Let comfort and ease be recognized. So breathing in, I feel at ease. Breathing out, I feel comfortable. Breathing in, I feel at ease. Breathing out, I rest comfortably. Now, it is even better if we're able to do this with the overarching motivation, the overarching context of bodhicitta. Recognizing and knowing that when I know how to attend to body and mind, this body and mind skillfully, then I will have the ability, I will begin to develop the ability to attend to other people skillfully. Sensitive people skillfully. Also important to recognize that after all, according to the Buddha, happiness and suffering at the end is a decision that individuals have to make. And so, of course, even as we say, helping others, being good to others, we have to recognize that there is a limit. You can only do so much. In the end, we are all responsible for how we feel, how we think. So having this healthy line between recognizing our impact on others and our ability to transform, to change ourselves. This is an important part of understanding how to be there for others, how to be good to others. There is no absolute line between these two domains, between these two concerns. Every one of us have to see where that line is for you. Don't let anyone tell you the line should be here or should be there. And don't be stubborn either in saying, oh, but this is my line. Best keep that as secret to yourself. Then nobody can manipulate you into negotiating the line. Breathe in, breathe out. Then, when you're ready, you can add breathing in, may I be well and happy. Breathing out, may you be well and happy. Starting first, perhaps, with looking at even the screen here. Breathing in, may I be well and happy. And breathing out, the faces that you see, the names that you see. We say, may you be well and happy. Principally, when we say, may you be well and happy, we are wishing them that they find these ability, that they find this ability to be well and happy themselves. Temporarily, if they cannot find it, we may be able to provide it. But again, we do not want. It's not possible for us to make them happy either. If that was possible, the Buddha and all the great beings in the world who care for us would have done it by now. Breathing in, the mind and the body becomes bright and clear. Breathing out, the mind, the heart becomes settled and steady. Breathing in, may I be well and happy. Breathing out, may you be well and happy. So now what we'll do is you just listen I'm going to recite the recollecting the qualities, the virtues of the three jewels. Even though it's in the sadhana that I shared with you, I'm using a different translation. Since yesterday, I've been trying to prepare a translation for that text, the whole text. I'm having a little bit of a problem using the current one that we have. It's a little different from the text that we normally use, or I normally use. So I've become very attached to certain ways of phrasing things and translating things. So I've been working on something that goes more smoothly for me. Different people have different habits. Mine is very stubborn now with. So anyway, please just listen as I recite the recollecting the Buddha, recollecting the Dharma, and recollecting the Sangha. In the language of India, Arya Buddha Nusmriti, in English, recollecting the noble Buddha. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, thus the Buddha, the transcendent, accomplished conqueror, Tathagata, who has attained suchness, Arhat, who has conquered all foes, is perfectly and completely awakened Buddha, endowed with insight and worthy of reverence, Sugata, who has reached the state of bliss, knower of the world's guide and tamer of beings unsurpassable, one teacher of gods and humans, Buddha Bhagavan. The Tathagata is in harmony with all merit. He does not waste the roots of virtue. He is fully adorned with patience. He is the foundation of the treasures of merit. He is ornamented with the excellent minor marks. He is the full blossoming of the major marks. His activity is timely and fitting. Seeing him, there is nothing displeasing. He brings true joy to those who have faith. His insight overwhelms all in its splendor. His powers are invincible. He is the teacher of all sentient beings, father of all bodhisattvas. Sovereign of all the noble ones, he is the guide who leads wandering beings to the city of Nirvana. He has measureless wisdom and possesses inconceivable fearlessness. His speech is utterly pure, its tones are melodious. One can never have enough of looking at him. His form is without comparison, unsullied by the realm of desire, quite unsullied by the realm of form, not caught up in the formless realm. He is completely liberated from suffering, totally liberated from the aggregates, not possessed with the constituents of ordinary experience. He is in control of the sense fields, has cut through the knots, completely liberated from torment. He is freed from craving. He has crossed over the river, perfected in all the wisdoms. He abides in the wisdom of all the Buddhas of past, present, and future. He does not dwell in nirvana, but abides in perfect finality. He remains on the level where he sees all sentient beings. All these are the authentic and supreme qualities of the embodiment of the Buddha. In the language of India, Dharma Nusmriti, in English, recollecting the Dharma, homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The sublime Dharma is good at the beginning, good in the middle, and good at the end. It is excellent in meaning, excellent in words and syllables. It is distinctive, totally complete, utterly pure, completely purifies. The Buddha teaches the Dharma perfectly. It brings unerring vision, is without affliction. It is constant and always timely. It is trustworthy when applied. Seeing it fulfills one's purpose. The wise can validate it through their own awareness. The Dharma taught by the Buddha relies entirely on training the mind. It is truly delivering. It causes one to arrive at perfect awakening. It is without contradiction, all-embracing, constant. It is the cessation of all uncertainty. In the language of India, Sangha Nusmriti, in English, recollecting the Sangha, homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. As for the noble Sangha, they proceed thoroughly, proceed with awareness, proceed straightforwardly, proceed harmoniously. They are worthy of veneration with palms joined together, worthy of receiving prostrations. They are a glorious field of merit. Offering to them brings great purification. They are an object of generosity. They are in every way the greatest object of generosity. The qualities of the Buddha are inconceivable. The sublime Dharma is inconceivable. The noble Sangha is inconceivable. And if one has faith in these inconceivables, karmic ripening will also be inconceivable. May we be born in the realm of complete purity. Now return again to breath. Recollect and be mindful of your inhalation and exhalation. Breath entering, breath leaving, breath arising, breath ceasing. Extending goodwill and wellness both to your own body and mind and to the bodies and minds of others. As the late Venerable Tingnahan would put it, he says that experience this miracle of mindfulness of breath. How wonderful that we are breathing. How wonderful that others are breathing. Invite joy and appreciation to the fact of breath coming in, going out, coming in, going out. Now, when you are ready, come into the presence of the root guru, our root guru, Buddha Shakyamuni. Think that you are sitting in the assembly gathered around Buddha Shakyamuni. And know that as Buddha Shakyamuni sits there, as he breathes in, he's breathing in wellness, ease, and comfort. And as he breathes out, he's breathing out wellness, comfort, and ease, radiating that towards us. And in that way, bask in his blessings, in his wish for us to be well and to be happy, and more importantly, his wish for us to develop that ability to be well and to be happy in our own minds, in our own lives. This is the loving kindness, the Maitri that the Buddha radiates, radiating the wish that we develop, we discover the sources of happiness for ourselves. Especially when we are suffering, when we are in pain, when we are lost, to hear someone say that I will take care of you, I will be good to you, is something that we can all appreciate, that we need to hear that. But the truth nonetheless remains that we ourselves have to discover that happiness, those roots of happiness within ourselves. That is the wish that the Buddha has for us. That is what the root guru has taught us. So rejoice now that he has taught us, and we have developed some faith, some confidence, and even some experience in developing those skills, those ability within ourselves. So breathe in the metta, the blessings, the maitri of our root guru, Buddha Shakyamuni. And as we experience that, when we breathe out the same wish for others. May they too find this ability, find this inspiration to develop the causes of happiness within themselves. Then there is the heart mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni. Om Mune Mune Maha Mune Swaha. If we recite that heart mantra in the context of the two bodhicittas, then the first two, Mune Mune, is the silencing, the quieting of the obscuration, that is the emotive obscuration, and the emotive as in the afflicted emotions, the obscurations of the afflictive emotions is silenced. Then the obscuration of the cognitive type, the more subtle type, is silenced with the second muni. And the third muni, Mahamuni, there, the great muni, we can think of it as great in one way, great in the way that may others too obscurations be silenced, be quiet, so that both self and other are freed from suffering. Om Mune Mune Maha Munaye Soha. Om Mune Mune Maha Munaye Soha. Om Mune Mune Maha Munaye Soha. Om Mune Mune Maha Munaye Swaha. 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 Tangju Sem Chorin Poche Ma Ge Ba Nam Ge Gu Che Ge Ba Nyam Pa Me Ba Ya O Ne Gong Du Bell Wen Shou. Okay. If you are joining us for the other talk coming up, I'll see you in 10 minutes. So the link again is in the chat if you open it. Let's see. Let me share again in the chat in case you missed it the first time. And then for those of you who are participating in the Drigong Dhammakirti program, at 11 there is the Amitayus practice as well. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Lee.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll have this practice,
Yeah.
normal. Bye-bye.